Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are going to review the Legion 5 from Lenovo that I picked up, gaming laptop, today on the show. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. So, as you know, I'm not a major PC gamer, and what we do on this channel is mainly console, but this is definitely worth talking about. Okay, so, I've been planning on this channel to get a PC, you know, so that I could run my programs and do my editing, all that stuff right there. So I was at Best Buy the other day. I was actually going to pick up a monitor for my Series S so that I could, you know, have like a 1080p or 1440p monitor, whatever one I was going to get. I was going to grab one so that I could have like a native vision on that, so I could actually give you guys more like a better representation of what it's actually targeted for. And I saw this thing. They were just stocking them. And I saw it and I was like, whoa, man, 3050 Ti? Impulse buy. Completely a freaking impulse buy. I saw the 30 series card in there and I was like, yep, didn't do any research on it, nothing. Did not know what I was buying. Just knew that it had a 3050 Ti and a Ryzen 7 CPU. So, after sitting here and doing research on this thing for the last couple of days, man, I started getting really disheartened. I was like, really, man? Really? It's only got 4 gigabytes of VRAM and it's only blah, blah, blah. It only came with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So I upgraded that to 16. That there was, you know, I had to do that. I already had a 1 terabyte SSD card, SSD that I bought for the PS5, and I put a 2 terabyte in there, so I didn't really need it. I had an enclosure. I was saving stuff back and forth, whatever. Didn't really necessarily need it. So I pulled that out and I put it in the laptop. So now my laptop has 1.5 terabytes of storage along with the 16 gigs of memory. I do plan on going all the way up to 32. Just maxing it out at 32, whatever, because I think that's the maximum you can get in here. So, to make a long story short, I was getting disheartened. So I started buying games for this PC. I got me some Assetto Corsa Competizione. I got me some Dark Souls 3. I got some Assassin's Creed Unity. All the games that I wanted. Some Dirt Rally 2.0. Got Cyberpunk 2077 on here. And after reading everything that I've read about just how terrible this 3050 card is, I'm sitting here scratching my head because I literally just got done playing Assetto Corsa Competizione on 4K, on my 4K screen in the epic settings, and it was freaking playable. That thing was almost unplayable on Xbox One X. If you want some reference, I can switch my view to where it's like, oh my gosh, man, this literally just blew me away. The fact that I can hook my Oculus Quest VR up to it and run it at epic settings was like, wow, epic settings. Although that was at 1080p on the thing, I'm wondering if I'm not doing something right, because I was playing that and it was feeling comfortable. I was like, wow, man, I'm not getting sick. I'm not feeling nauseous like I did when I'd play PSVR. Wow, that was freaking intense for me. Like, I was like, wow, dude, I'm actually playing Assetto Corsa Competizione in VR on a laptop that everyone says is not that great, and it's not making me sick. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm like the super know-it-all when it comes to PCs. I'm not doing that. What I'm telling you is I'm a console gamer. And this thing has exceeded my expectations and competes really well with the consoles that I currently have. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. This thing is blowing away what I was getting on my One X. So I'm assuming that this is just under the power of those and well above an Xbox Series X in terms of performance and stuff. Now, I do know that the memory and all of that stuff, you know, has its limitations or whatever. But I'm literally playing Assassin's Creed Unity at 4K with high settings. So, and that's playable. I think that one's like 45 to like 45 to 60 frames a second on here. I can get Cyberpunk 77 running pretty decently for the most part, with pretty high settings. All of this is everything seems to run better when I put it into everything on the laptop itself. Dude, I can have like max 1080p with max settings on almost everything I've tried. Like almost everything I've tried. Where I'm doing my benchmark is how are things running compared to the consoles that I already have. That's my main thing with this. Like that's literally all I care about. Will this compete with my console experience and deliver what I'm getting on my consoles in games that I can't buy on my consoles, and stuff that, you know, I want to see much better than what it was. Like the fact that like Dark Souls 3 runs at 4K and like looks amazing. Like when you turn on like all the high and everything, oh my gosh, that game looks freaking fantastic. Yeah, it definitely needs an upgrade on console, that's for sure. I've got Sword and Fairy 7. That one looks really good. If I set that on low, it looks like the settings on that make it look like one of those cell shaded games, but when you set it on high, it looks all like high real. This is pretty cool, man. Like this laptop is punching well above its weight in terms of what I wanted it to do and what my expectations were, because my expectations were a little bit high. I'm not even gonna lie. You know, like I guess this thing roughly equates to about 8.7 teraflops or whatever after boosted or whatever. So I mean, it's no slouch. It's definitely got the compute power in there, you know. I mean, like it is comparable. It does have the compute power. The Ryzen 7 CPU is pretty fast. It's an 8-core, 16 threads. So I mean, it's definitely got the power that. But I mean, this is the 80 watt model or whatever, I believe. So that there's definitely given me, you know, more power draw, more power. Like I can draw more power. So my chips are running, you know, a lot better. The fact of the matter is that this is for me a smooth experience, and being able to tinker with things and make it even smoother. Just the fact that I'm running these games at like 60 and above, like some of these games at 60 at 4K, like Assetto Corsa Competizione feels better on this laptop with higher resolution, higher freaking settings than it does right now running back compat on my Xbox Series X. Like I would much rather play it on my laptop than I would on my Series X right now. That's completely honest. Had I known that, like I bought that as a test game, you know, kind of all of these games, you know, I've just kind of been benchmarking, you know, to see how well this laptop is working. And to tell you the truth, for the most part, like I'm pretty freaking satisfied with the package that I have right now. Like this is great. So gaming wise, I think that if you have this laptop, honestly, like you're going to get a pretty comparable experience to like the next gen, like the Series X and PS5, you know, in terms like some games aren't going to work that well. You're going to be more at like, if you want like 4K, some games you're going to be stuck at 30 frames a second on some of those. Well, 35 to 45 or whatever. Turning ray tracing on any of these tanks it. Like when I turn it on for Cyberpunk and Sword Fairy 7, boom, it drops all the way into the teens on both games. Like seriously, like 9 to 15. So ray tracing, I mean, if you're going to run it at low settings with ray tracing, like, I don't know, like the ray tracing in here is kind of just irritating. Yeah, it works, but does it work? Okay, let me rephrase that. If I'm running directly on the laptop itself, then I can use ray tracing. But when I try to turn it on when it's on the TV at 4K, like that's not even possible. That's just a big no. And I will say that the games that do offer DLSS support, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Sword Fairy 7, if I turn those on, I get way better performance, way better. And I am running those with the performance mode for Assetto Corsa Competizione, and it's such a smooth experience. Like this will deliver, for the most part, all the games that I've tested, it has delivered that experience, a playable experience at 4K resolution. at 4K resolution on my 4K TV. It has delivered that experience, whether that's at 30 frames a second or up to 60 frames a second. This even runs Dirt Rally 2.0 at high settings at 4K. So that right there alone is pretty freaking decent. And yes, it does look a lot better than it does on my Xbox Series X running in backward compatible mode. So those are most of the games that I've covered. You know, I also have Age of Ashes. It's a dragon flyer. Like, that's pretty freaking cool, man. Now it looks so good. So good. I'm pretty happy about the experience that this laptop delivers. Is it the best freaking bang for your buck? I don't know. Maybe not, because you can probably get the 3060 laptop pretty close to the same price I paid for this. I paid $1,000 for this, and now that I've done some research and I'm like, oh man. Yeah, dude, I could have probably got a 3060 for the same price. It doesn't matter now. I know I could take this back, but I already bought my software and put my software on there before I even thought about any of that, before I even looked at any of that. And like, honestly, to tell you the truth, when I bought this, I didn't even care. I knew that it was going to be power enough to at least run games, especially on this monitor. And if I hook it up to a bigger 1080p monitor, yeah, dude, I'm going to get a lot better, like a lot better settings or whatever too, you know. I mean, it's going to be pretty good. But the fact that I can run Assetto Corsa Competizione at a playable frame rate with epic settings at 4K, yeah, I'm sold. Like, I'm good. I will definitely be very happy with that. So, okay, so now let's get on to the other part of the thing that I would be using this for. Content creator. As a content creator that edits video, like records video, all of that stuff, this right here, this laptop has saved me so much time already. Like, this video, by the time it's done, I'll have recorded it, I'll have put it together, I'll put it in my software, and boom, it'll be out. It'll be up on YouTube within like 10 to 15 minutes. Like, that's how fast this puppy is. This is great. My old laptop, in comparison, for a 15-minute video would take over an hour from start to finish to get processed and uploaded. And I had an NVIDIA MX350 GPU in it with a Ryzen 4 or something. Like, it was like, I mean, it did good for the first freaking 7 or 8 months of this thing. Like this YouTube channel has definitely paid that off. I paid like $700 for that laptop, and I got this one here for $1,000, and this completely smokes that thing. That thing right there would only run Age of Empires with the lowest settings at 720p. This one right here blows its freaking doors off, man. Maxed out settings and everything. I'm like, wow, dude, that's pretty freaking good. You know what I mean? Well, now that I put the 16 gigs in there, it definitely runs better. It runs, it even runs Forza Horizon 5 at 4K with pretty much almost high settings. So yeah, this is a decent laptop when it comes to that. In terms of being able, I use CyberLink as my editing software, and wow, it's so much faster, so much better. This is great. Like, I do appreciate this laptop. I know there's better out there. I know there's definitely better out there. The 3050 Ti with the 4 gigabytes of VRAM. Yeah, like, I'm pretty satisfied with this. It has more than enough space to upgrade, you know, your memory up to 32 gigs. You can put in another SSD. I actually have a Gen 4 PCIe that I bought for the PlayStation, up to 7,000 megabytes, sitting in this puppy right now. Does it get that full 7,000 megabytes? No, it caps out at like 390 or something. The laptop won't. Well, no, I got the software kicked in. I don't know if it'll actually go any faster than that. I haven't tried it. I just because of the heatsink issue, not heatsink issue, but just because of the thermals in this laptop, I didn't want to overextend it, because it gets really hot running on like the PlayStation 5 and stuff like that. So I kind of just kept that maxed out about 4,000 megabytes a second at the highest. I'm pretty okay with this laptop. I'm still definitely building the tower, because I'm pretty sold on on PC gaming, and just being able to sit here and play around with this for like the last 4 or 5 days or however long I've had it, and really get a feel for how PC gaming works and what you can do. That intrigues me. I am pretty intrigued about that. And like, seriously, I did not believe this laptop was going to run Assetto Corsa Competizione the way that it does. So I'm like, wow, man, should I even upgrade? Like, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely getting a tower. This one here, this laptop is probably, after I get the tower, this is going to be completely for my software, my editing, for my studio. For the PC that I'm getting for gaming, I'm going to be putting together the best thing I can put together. So, we're talking 3090 card, plenty of freaking RAM, all the workings. I'm going to go up as high as I can go and try to get, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a 3090 card, maybe a 3080. I'll settle for a 3080, but we're even a 3070 right now just to start getting it built. But as it sits right now, like, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited about PC gaming. I kind of feel like that's just I kind of feel like moving into PC gaming just kind of happens once you start a YouTube channel. There's really no way around that, because you need this. You need the processing power to do all your editing and stuff. And with that processing power, it kind of opens a doorway to be like, I wonder how this thing plays games. And that's exactly what it does for me. I'm like, well, gee, I wonder how it plays the game. So that's what I do. I start checking out these games. I start seeing how they're optimized, seeing what, like, wow, man, it is kind of mind blowing. And being able to use my Xbox controller, my PlayStation controller, my freaking Nintendo Switch controller. Do you understand what this means? This means that I get to buy Monster Hunter Rise on Steam next month, and I get to play that on Steam. Like, this is pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to that, because I know if a Nintendo Switch can run that, this laptop will blow the doors off of that. So, as far as I'm concerned, 3050 Ti laptop. If you're an entry level creator like myself, and you just want to kind of dabble in PC gaming because you're a console gamer, man, this is a pretty decent laptop. If you can find, I think a 3060. If you can get a 3060, get your hands on a 3060 with the same everything. That one has 6 gigs of VRAM, so you'll have a little bit more power to play games, a little bit higher stuff or whatever. But as it sits right now, man, this is pretty freaking cool, man. I'm pretty happy with what this is, what I have right now. This is definitely going to get me by until I can get a tower built. Like, no problem. This is going to be the thing that powers me through and that I can take with me and play my games when I go on the road and stuff like that. This is pretty great. I'm pretty happy with this. I am satisfied. Build quality of this laptop is pretty decent. The fact that it's easily upgradable, it has exactly, like, to the T, exactly the amount of freaking ports that I need. It has a LAN port, so I plug it right in, so I'm getting a freaking solid connection. Games download fast on this. It's got 2 USB Type-C adapters. Every one of them are high speed. There's no garbage on here. They're all high speed. It's got a nice thick 320 watt power brick. Like, this thing is a beast, and it helps power this thing at 80 watts that's pretty cool. This is a pretty decent laptop. It's a pretty decent setup. The screen has 165 hertz refresh rate with VR with a variable with VSync enabled, G-Sync as well. Like, this is pretty cool, man. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, this is pretty freaking cool. For $1,000, I do feel like I got my money's worth. I mean, yeah, I probably could have bought like a pre-built or something like that, but that's not the point. The point is this thing was in stock at my local Best Buy while I was there picking up a monitor. While I was there to get a monitor. And the best card I could get was like a 480 or 470 something. It was really low in a pre-built for $1,000, and I was like, really, man? Like, I'm not gonna buy that. Like, I bought this. This is way better than what I could have got in the pre-builts that were sitting there at the store at the time. So that's the biggest reason I got it. It was definitely an impulse buy that actually turned out to be pretty decent for me. So if you like this content, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel, and it's because of you that I even consider investing more into this YouTube thing, because we are starting to grow. This has been, like, I love my community. You guys are great. You guys have definitely done a lot to help encourage me to keep going and especially when there was times that I was just like, man, I don't know about this. And yeah, you guys are there, and you guys have supported me, and this is awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys, and I bought this so I could make better content. So hopefully you guys like this. I'll upload this with a picture and everything, so it'll be pretty cool, man. Don't you guys worry. So, all right, you guys have a good night. Thanks. I'll see you in the next one.